Other sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me.
Destructors who harm me, and those who create
Those who create obstacles in my path.
all mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors around me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and damnation. May the experience of happiness be separate from suffering, the seven ways to reach them, the still one surpass, perfect, complete, precious of Buddhahood. All mothers and beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and damnation. May the experience of happiness be separate from suffering, the seven ways to reach them, the still one surpass, perfect, complete, precious of Buddhahood. Dala dangvara sebe da nubara sebe ge tarba dang dam jen jen be barde yubara seba dang je je to se ma nam ga dang nyam be zen jen dang je dewa dang de dongara dang ra yorda lana me ba yang da bara do be san jo rumbo je do bar sa da san ra jiva enlightenment perform virtues with the body, speech, and the mind. Under the upper form virtues days with the body, speech, and mind. From now under this time tomorrow, upper form virtues days with the body, speech, and the mind. We take refuge in the Kandaru Lama and the lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deity of the mandalas of Yadam. We take refuge in the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sangha. We take refuge in all the noble Dragas and darkness and the Dhammagas and the after I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddhas, I take refuge in the Dharma, and likewise the example of the Bodhisattva. As the Bhagavas and Buddhas and better enlightenment and the progress of the Bodhisattva's path are true for the benefit of all sentient beings, giving birth to Bodhicitta and apply myself to complete the stage of the path. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent. I take refuge under enlightenment by the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may without for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering, the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in contemplation, free from attachment and aversion. Saving one prayer Tibetan. 天界四大所见界天内的所学法门也心觉给，那个马里的大当觉啦，里当那也当为萨结我，让我这边莫来多大个假如当觉也见我所得。 Shinga denye le ra tu ba ye yarwa gen la ra de san sa lo de je de na de nye san je na san je se je we na yu ba da e da ra chi je ye na ma le ba tam je yarwa da ge kan wa Ke dai ma guai me ze jiang zuo na yang ye ye na jiang zuo ra ge ji yar wa gen je yong de ra ju chen de wa ra xie pa dang jie da ke du me do dang ban ting wa dang ba dai se nie nang dai su be dong jiu dang Marmen jodan dube dambaye yarwa de da lanen chuparye Nabzai damba namda injim jodan zeme kurma ra chambada Koba jeba mabe jogenje yarwa de da lanen chuparye Shobhagana lame jaje wa de da jarwa damje la yamu Zambo jula debe do dai ge Jarwa gen la zanzaran che barje Dojai Jedai the Mo Wangan Long Adan the Yin Jang De Ba Da Ge Jiba Jin Jiba De Da Dang Je Da Ge So So Sha So Je Jarwa Gen Dan Zang Je Se Ran Jer Nan Dan Lo Dan Lo Dan Roa Genje Zonan Gan La Ya Peda Genje Jise Da Ya Kanai So Je Je De Rome Da San Yu Rumbar San Je Pa Cha Ni Gombo De Da Da Ge Dan Je La Kolo La Na Me Ba Ko Wa Ko Yang da war ye ge de da la no wa ge la bin je de le se gar wa yin ge de nie yu ba ya da ge da mo ra je so wa ye san de wa da yo je ya ba da ye de ya ra go ye so wa ye Ge wa yong ze da ge jie sa ba tam je zo be san jo ze mu. So mandala offering, Sanskrit Tibetan. Sa ye be je zo ye me do chang. Re ra lin ye nye de jie ban de. Sanje Jena Ete Burwaye Droge Namdai Jende Jewar Yu Gozong Yondo Lame Zonama Sena Zanzon Jende Jene Jeju Dali long yun an se yong yi la la ni yo ge mu do zar de zo. Whatever merit I have gathered through four stations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of enlightenment of our sentient beings, or Guru Rinna Mandala Bunda Manga Samandra Savarana Samaye Aho. I for refuge, O Otome of the world. Your fame provides the 3,000 words. You are the way toward Yadara Vidoato. I bow at the feet of Father and Jite Songo. Continue laughing with no one but you. Compassionate one grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the unlimited nature of the mind. Same Je Nam Je Sambadam Loye Zerai Je Dawar Che Jun De Mon De Vaye Che Je Golo Gordo Zo. Please turn the way over Dharma of the true way hackers and their combination according to this position, and likewise the mental capacity of a sentient being. So now we go to the Chinrezek Sadhana. Chinrezek Sadhana, page 24. Sure, in the center of a pure and of a potala, breathing white on a lotus in the mountain sea. I appear in the form of noble Avalokiteshvara, white and radiant, with one face, 4 arms, and 2 legs. My first 2 hands are joined at my heart, and the lower 2 hold the crystal rosary and the white lotus. Our second jiva ornament and my seated legs are crossed, and adorning my crown is Lama Amitabha Bon, the boundless light. All around the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas together like clouds. From the Om Ahom and my 3 centers stream all the rest of light. Enlightened house of wisdom deity who dissolve indivisibly. In the center of my heart, O lotus and the moon disease is the celebration. Surrounded by the mantra garland from it, to the extreme order making offering to the noble one and the purifying the obscuration of our beings. The whole environment become the realm of Mount Potala, or that ever is the form of a great compassion one, or songs of the speech of a six-syllable mantra, and all thoughts of wisdom mind, all emptiness and compassion, all the original nature beyond grasping and all providing I recite the mantra. Tibetan. Ragar Bema David in the Ranyan Pawai Jinre Zijirko Kasar Jarje Zaye Janye Pa Tambo Sanye Tokara Tamoja Oma Nije Jente Bekarnam Tardan Ren Chen Jenden Jerong Jewo Lama Oba Nepejin Korda Sanje Sansem Tindarte Nezon Onga Onge Uzurje Yishe Lazo Jinrai Nimeden Towe Bede Den La Yegere Endarn Hajen Tingwe Kurwale Ontin Panjo Dogen De Bayong Shenkan Danje Rewo Dale Shen Nama Danje Tuje Jembeke Dada Danje Yege Chube Song Tendo Danje Dongye Ninje To Deme Jabdaran Yome Nane Da Om Mane Beme Hong 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 Mane Beme Hong Om Mane Beme Hong Om Mane Beme Hong Om Mane Beme Hong 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 Mane Beme Hong Dongge Doge Yaje Reisa Rong Yinje Modo Deje Bongyoma Serje Lembo Davar Jibe Shaye Jarbe Jala Zorwane Doje Janje De Lo Naro Ba Ma Lai Ji Je Gan Bo Ba Amo De Ba Ya Wa Gong Be Sa Ju La Ma Na La Zo Wa De Men Ji Je Yen Je Bo Bran Ni Te Zong San Je Guen Je Ngo Nye Rang Sen Ye Ge Mo Song Dong De Be Sa We La Me Sha Lai Zo Wan De. Good morning, everyone. So you ready? 37 practice Bodhisattva. You can hear, right? Thank you. Okay, so now 37 practice Bodhisattva composed by Jalseng Tomi. So then, as in the middle of the teaching, main section, the teaching has 37 verses. So we finish sixth perfection. It's sixth perfection. The last verses, wisdom is 30 verses. So we finish last way, six paramita. So now we are in the 31st verses. This whole 37 practice, Bodhisattva, actually we have to use our daily life, and we individually, every time, every day, we just get different kind of situations. So then that reason in this 37 verses, each different verses has different situations, guide, and also dependent individual. If you are beginner practitioner, the 37 practice always have the answer in there, the guide your life. If you are more practitioner, the Dharma practitioner, then also this 37 guide your whole life. If someone is monastic, then also 37 practice guide the monastic monks and nuns, so life too. Each individually have answers, is we can use this 37 practice our life. So this 37 practice, our whole life is guideline and transform, change life. So that's the reason the beginner practitioners all the way high realizers, they use this 37 practice. Some people think this 37 practice Bodhisattva is very easy, simple. So I already read it. I know everything. I don't need. Many people think that way, but that's we see the 100% misunderstand. This 37 practice Bodhisattva, beginners all the way to enter Buddhahood guide, is instructions. So enter Buddha, you need this 37 practice, not just only you read once, then you think it's already enough. If you eat one breakfast, then you say, I don't need a breakfast, I already eat, right? So you say, I already took shower, then you don't need to take whole shower. You don't need to take shower whole life. So you eat one time breakfast, you don't need to eat whole life your breakfast. Think about that, You did something, then you say, I don't need, I already have that. So temporary worldly situation also, we have to do again and again. Then of course 37 practice of Bodhisattva is like, not temporary guiding, it's like permanently changing to guideline to taking to the Buddhahood. And that's the reason we have to cultivate and also of course first teaching, and then cultivate, and then study, meditate, practice. We have to do often and often every day. That's the reason when I share this beginning time 37 practice, some teachers say His Holiness Khenpo Nyingmen Pinso, he received 100 times from other teachers, this 37 practice. So the 100 times, not just read, 100 times receive teaching, that means love. And then the person is not just beginner, ordinary person, because it's a practitioner and the scholar realize that. The kind of teachers also receive 100 times means like we have to receive 1,000 times. Yeah. And then many practitioners use this 37 practice whole life. So that's the reason you see when Gachen Rinpoche shared the teachings, everything comes from 37 or supplication Tara somewhere else. Doesn't matter which kind of topic you use. So somewhere from the 37 Bodhisattva or somewhere from the supplication to Tara. So this too is very simple, easy, and used for daily life. Our daily life is very powerful because very simple, and we can use this too. The 37 practice more is part of the conduct method. So supplication Tara is we can use for the meditation wisdom section. Then of course for practice for Yadam deity and completion stage meditation. This 37 practices, so we can use 4 thoughts meditation, and we can love, compassion, bodhicitta, and then 6 paramita. All the practices included everything in this 37 Bodhisattva prayer practice. So when you study this 37 practice of Bodhisattva, and then you practice, you connect with Dharma, and you also see then arise devotion to the teacher who composed this teaching, is Nochotomi. So you really see the person is Bodhisattva, because they composed this, and the book, he has ability to do that. He has fully practiced love and the compassion, bodhicitta. And so he has the somewhere levels of Bodhisattva levels. And then due to his compassion, he created this book and benefited many other beings. So benefit us. Then you recognize that you arise devotion to the teacher, gurus. So this practice of 37 Bodhisattva, connect with your gurus, Buddhas, teachers, and connect with the Dharma, and then connect with the Sangha. So who practice, who receiving, like example, 37 Bodhisattva, who practice 37 Bodhisattva, we see that person is like, is just not that kind, the like ordinary and some negative person, that persons we see some spiritual person, we can rely on that person. So we can trust that person, someone who practices 37, we see, oh, that person is great, and we can rely on many things, worldly things and the spiritual things too. So that person is called Sangha. So that's the reason, practice 37, we truly taking refuge to Buddha, truly taking refuge to Dharma, truly taking refuge to Sangha. So that inner quality also arise. we take refuge, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, usually Saramani. We have Saramani, that is just ultra level connections. Then you practice 37 Bodhisattva, you have inner level connections to the Tirigivas. So that's our quality is come from this practice 37 Bodhisattva. Inner level connect with the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, the qualities practice 37 Bodhisattva. Our love compassion increasing, that also practice 37 Bodhisattva. And our wisdom increasing, that's also due to 37 practice of Bodhisattva. So that's why it's important, right? 37 practice of Bodhisattva. Not enough just one time receiving teaching. So we have to cultivate often and often. Have to read again and again. So now, today, go to the verses 31. So we already talked last week. Wisdom. The wisdom generally follow the worldly wisdom and the spiritual wisdom, the two different wisdom levels. So worldly wisdom has positive and negative both. So then 37 practice is sharing is actually spiritual wisdom and absolute truth wisdom. So absolute truth wisdom is realize nature of phenomena. So that means like we recognize everything is interdependent, everything is emptiness. That wisdom is called perfection of wisdom. No, 31, if you don't examine your own errors, you may look like a practitioner, but not act as one. Therefore, always examining your own errors, rid yourself of them. This is the practice of Bodhisattva. I think this verses 31 is very, very important. Actually, of course, every verse is important, but especially this verses 31 is important. So this thing about this verses 31, we always have this problem. We don't recognize our own problem. We can see others' problem is easy, but we don't see our own problem. But even see our own problem, don't want it to accept. So you can see others' problem, then just right away recognize and right away talk. And our own problem, we don't see, but even see is no accept. So if you don't examine your own errors, if you don't look our own problems, you may look like a practitioner, but not act as one. So that means, like, see, we always have to look to our own, like situation, look to our own problems. If we don't see our own problems, then whatever practice the Dharma is never ever going to benefit. So we have an example, like, turn over your jar like this, jar, so water cannot be in there, so nothing is going to be in between this cup. So like that, if we don't look to our own problem, and always we examine or looking to others' problems, then whatever you practice the Dharma practice that cannot benefit anything ourselves. So then we cannot change. You're always the same. That's the reason this part is like mostly, Bodhisattva practitioners. So, all the time, the cultivating this section. So we have to examine ourselves, look to our own problem. If we don't see that, then we cannot get rid of our own problem. So if we don't recognize our problem, then how can we get rid of that? We have to see that our own problem, then we can find the solution. But if we don't see our own problem, we don't accept our own problem, then it's not possible with looking something solution for that. Then we always pointing others' problem. We say, oh, you need this solution, that solutions. That doesn't help change anything ourselves. So this section is actually all the Buddha when he guided like his student, main point, all is like essence is this part. Buddha is like last minute he's going to pass nirvana. He said, I have one last disciple, so I have to visit that person. And then another person, what is his name? So I don't remember exactly his name. So that person has come. The person he seeing the Buddha is going to pass soon, and he said, I wanted to see Buddha. So his Buddha's attending is King Gao. He said, no, it's you cannot see him. You just stay like far away seeing the Buddha. Then Buddha said, no, let him to come in close to me. So then he come to close to Buddha. Of course, the Buddha had recognized, the even clairvoyance what's going on there. So he asked his attending, let him to come close to me. So he come to close to him, and then Buddha told him, what you have questions? I've written your questions. So then he asked question Buddha. He mentioned about all the other famous teachers during that time in India, different religion teachers. He bring everyone. He said, I need this every teachers. So of course that guy, he has very strong ego. And he said, I meet all these teachers one by one. So now you give me answer. These teachers who really has realization, who has a good quality. So you give me these answers one by one, who has highest level realizations. So Buddha told him, answer is, you don't need to look the teacher's realization or no realize or they get realize or no realize. So you have to realize the main point. They realize or not, that is not your job. So your job is you have to realize, and you need to know in this one, like I know what in sharing, you have to look to examine your own errors. You have to realize your own nature. So they are realized or not, is not your business. Actually, we usually say not your business. Your business is you have to realize yourself. You have to light up your own. So then he said, wow, he already gone his all the questions. So then he just said, can you give me refuge? So can you give me monks of hours? I want to follow you. So Buddha said yes. So that you are my last monastic person. That's why I'm waiting you. And then he give the monks vows for that person and share many teachings. So that person is become realized. See, he went to so many different teachers. And then that just talking about that teacher who has good qualities, that teachers have realized or not. You know, they're not looking their own what they need. They're just pointing the person's, qualities, what they're doing, and which kind of they're sharing, what I received from them, what I have. So his whole life is follow like that person is. But actually, he didn't seeing what he is doing wrong, mistake. That's why he didn't get realized. So no thing about we in our sangha means like like in the Rhino Western, many people like that. So they follow the many different teachers. They just examining all every teachers. Yeah, they're also receiving some teachings, but they don't put practice for use for that. Then they said, I received these teachings from this teaching, these teachers, this teaching from these teachers. No practice, yeah, and not using that. And then we talk about, okay, they have a Dharma center. They has these teachings there, what they're doing. So we're finding all the informations, many different informations. So then last minutes, actually, we don't give up anything, our own problems. We don't looking anything, our own problems. So you're looking Dharma centers. Where is the Dharma centers? Many, oh, there's a Dharma center, there's a Dharma center, there's a Dharma center. Okay, these Dharma centers follow this tradition, or these Dharma centers follow these lineages. You find all the informations. Thereafter, you find all these teachings, so many teachings that you can find there. And then you join the different teachings and you say, oh, I went to this Dharma center, I went to this Dharma center. You have all these information. But you examine all these teachers, you examine all these Dharma centers. So then look to yourself, what get. You know this auto level, but actually we have to give up something from our own problems. So we don't give up anything, our own problem. Then that even you knowing everything, it doesn't have anything. Yeah. Do you think so? If you know this everything, what helps anything actually? One day you have problems, so you don't recognize that, you don't give up that problem, then you knowing that is nothing benefit. So that kind of, Buddha, when he shared the teaching in his many like stories student, I see that person I wanted to Kente Jorabzang. The person name is Kente Jorabzang. Kente Jorabzang. His name is Kente Jorabzang, the last person who Buddha become ordained monk. And he follow all the different kind of teachers. Kente Jorabzang is just, he think he has something special qualities because he need all these teachers receiving teachings. He examining every teachers. So actually he don't recognize what going on himself. Yeah, so like that, we have that problem. That is just an example, the person he is there and the Buddha shared that teaching for him. So that is most important when Buddha passed away before Nirvana. Split instruction. He told his followers just like that. So that's why he shared that. Yeah. And that's why when we read this one, we have to look our own problems. So examine your own errors. You may look like a practitioner, but not as one. So usually we think we are a practitioner. We are, education, Dharma education, we are Dharma practitioner. But when get difficulty situations, suffering problems, then become same is ordinary, more worse than ordinary. So that means then that didn't we use really anything in our mind? Yeah, so that's a kind of many people like that. So not everyone, just many like that too. That is like not only our here is a problem, it's most people, just ordinary people's problem. So why we don't get realized? Because this problem. Some people say, I received so many teachings. I went to see so many realized teachers. Then after they say, why I have this problem? Why I have this sufferings? Then you give answer is like, you have to say, if you have to look through your own, examine your own errors. So far we say, so far we're looking to all these teachers and the teachings, not looking to our own. So now we say, okay, we have to look our own situations. So you say, tell them it's like look to your own errors. Yeah. This section also say when wake up morning to until go to sleep between, we don't have a mindfulness. So we get a different kind of environment, conditions. We just become same as ordinary, like we 100% lost. We don't apply any antidote for the desire, negativity, or emotions. We don't use any antidote. Why that problem? Because we don't examine own errors. So when you read this one, if you don't examine your own errors, you may look like a practitioner, but not as one. So right away, like, wow, I'm not looking my own problems. So when you get the, and the emotions, situations, second conditions, we already get fired there together. But when you read these verses, right away you are changed, different person. That's kind of these verses as powerful. So then, of course, every time like we get the different conditions, different circumstances, and a different environment, always emotion arise. So when you remember these verses, just read and like breathe, calm down, read these verses, you can change. So we cannot do that. The problem is because we don't have enough mindful awareness. And also we heard this 37 practice. After finish teaching, we just leave 37 practice. Bodhisattva, the book is in the shelf, shores or shelves, right? They just leave it the same like that. Our knowledge also leave it there together. When we go out, we already forget everything. That's why it's people in the monastery require is memorize this 37 practice of Bodhisattva. But sometimes memorize also not really that give you much, guide. So important is like just cultivate often and often. So cultivate often and often, then when you get this, negativity or emotional conditions, right away you can read that, you can change. So many Dharma, like conditions always there. Dharma conditions, circumstances or conditions there, but we don't recognize that all the conditions we take to the worldly activity. Worldly activities become all the conditions, the causes of, emotional, or like become worldly activities. But someone who really practice this often, they're looking their own error, they're examining their own problem, that person can change every circumstance. I mean, every condition that can change to the Dharma condition, positive condition. So, see, that is like kind of a key. And also, which direction you're going. If someone can read our own problem, someone, look into our own errors, then that person always this negative, whatever circumstances there is changed to positive. Even the just regular, like worldly samsara situation, always taken to the path, condition of Dharma. And the people who don't read our own problem, someone don't examine our own self, then that person, wherever they gets conditions, situations, is taken to the worldly causes of samsara. That person is even come to in the temples, come to the teachings, but they don't looking their own what needed. They only examine for others, examining for teacher, examining for teachings, then examining all this, who was there, what that person doing, what that person said, and examining for always others. Then when they go back home and they don't get anything, then they just get more the samsaric conditions again, because you can have more examining like for others. So that's why we have to use this word often and often, just read often and often, cultivate, we have to often and often. Otherwise, we cannot say we are practitioner. So even we receive many teachings and connect with many teachers, but when we get in the situation, conditions, we are just same as the ordinary people, don't recognize anything. So then if we follow like that, then we also become causes of kind of negative condition become real. The example, oh, he's practiced Dharma long time. He's went to see so many teachers. He went to receiving so many teachings, but see more worse than us. Other people think, oh, that people are more worse than us. Also, then that thing don't go to the teachings. So that kind of people get percepts too become. Sometimes I say the practitioners means like not the practitioner, because the practitioner means you have to read our own problem and examine ourselves. But someone that don't doing that, they go to teachings, seeing the teachers, and they think always doing something like Dharma practicing. But when they come back to in the ordinary, I mean the like just worldly situations, they have become more worse than other people. Then other people think, wow, these people go always temple. That place is not great to go because look to this person. So we giving bad examples. Yeah. So that's the reason, at least we don't give bad example. When you get that kind of situation, you think, oh, I cannot give them bad example. Even I cannot give good example, I cannot give bad example. So at least you have that kind of a mindful and recognize. That's also good. That helps to become change. First, we have to use that first step to change ourselves. So then this see Murchatomi, who composed this text, he really focused for the Dharma, like someone people say I'm practitioner, so that kind of person have to recognize this. If you don't examine your own errors, like we have to always examine our own error. Don't pointing for others, main point is right. So actually others, see Buddha give the clearly answer for that person. The others get realized or not. It's not your job, right? So what you need to get that you wanted to receive something and benefit from something from you, you can get that, but you don't have to think, oh, he get realized or not realized. So he's practitioner or not practitioner. That is not our job, right? Yeah. So today example, like you say, oh, Khenpo Sangha is realized or not realized. He's, 37 practice Bodhisattva practitioner or not practitioner. That is not case, yeah. The main point is you have to read this one like what you have problems. That problem, what you need solution. What solution inside in this text, so far this teaching is giving to you. So that you have to apply. That helps you become changed. So if you find I'm realized, it doesn't help any you think that. If I'm not realized, it doesn't help you anything. That is not your business, right? So that kind of like just that's an example. Like when you go to receive teachings from other teachers, you don't have to examine like the teachers realize or not. So you have to get that teaching. You have to use that teaching for practice your guideline. So then these teachings really benefit you. So then teachings really benefit you, then you also appreciate. I share these teachings for you, you appreciate Khenpo Sangha one day. So that also helps me, and I can get accumulation merit from you. So you also get accumulation merit. That way we're helping each other, not like helping each other like I am realized or not, education or not, good quality or not good quality. You don't have to examine that part. That's doesn't help you. So that's why Shantideva said, and don't examine others, examine ourselves. So then sometimes we say, okay, wow, we have to examine teacher, we have to examine teachings, we have to examine students. So why is it that? You can have that questions. So that means like also sometimes like you want to receive teachings. Okay, I want to receive teaching from this teacher. Okay, this teacher really can share this teaching. He has received these teachings, lineage or not. You know that is great part. You have to know that. The teacher is sometimes like there is fake teachers also can be, say like they don't know anything Dharma, but they're sharing something. Okay, I know these teachings and I have these teachers from many other teachers. Like someone can say like that, you can recognize that has or not. So that part is knowledge. You have to know. But then some part we don't really need to know. So long as the teacher has lineage, teacher knows how to sharing these teachings, like when you receive also you recognize, then you have to practice ourselves, right? We have to practice ourselves. So then that's really benefit for us and the others, anyone. Not act as one, therefore always examine your own errors. So not only one time examine our errors, right? They always. When you wake up to undergo sleep, and we have to always remember this. So, like we have to look to our problems, see what I have problem, which one is weak, right? Not strong. So then we, something apply, use that. So change ourselves. The Dharma practices whole system is like system or stemming is always change ourselves, not others. Change ourselves. Therefore, always examine your own errors. Read yourself of them. So then we have to look to our own problem. And we recognize our own problem, then not just recognize, also not enough too, right? So we have to get rid of our own problem. If we don't get rid of our own problem, you just recognize, oh, I have this problem, that's it. Then they're always there. So snake is at on your bed. You know the snake is on your bed. You don't get rid of the snake on your bed. So then the problem is always there. So one day snake going to bite you. So that time then snake give you poison. So we don't want that, right? Like that. And if we don't get rid of snake and our problems, one day our problem is going to destroy us. Our own problem going to destroy ourselves. Others' problem never ever going to destroy us. So that's the reason who is really truly our enemy. So now we see really truly our enemy is our problem, own problem. So then what is our own problem? Is our emotion. Our emotion is our problem. Long as we have emotions, the emotion going to take us in the lower realms. Then we are endless suffering. So that's the reason our true enemy is our emotion. Our emotion can bring us in the lower realm, torture us many, many lifetimes. So that's the reason, here it says like examine our own errors. What you going to examine yourself? We have to examine our problem is emotions. Not examining like problem is like talking about, something problem, your house. I have to fix my house, and my car has problem. That's my problem, right? My job has a problem. My coworker has a problem. My neighbor has a problem. Someone made me nosy up other side of my neighbor. So this is my problem. No examining for that. That not talking about their problems. Their problems not counting here. Their problem is actually no problem, but we make problems. We create problems. The problem is emotion. Sometimes, like we say here, we have to look our own problem. Then, not looking our emotion problems, looking ultra level something problem. That doesn't fix anything. We cannot fix that problem if we don't fix our inner problem, emotion problems. You fix other problems, endless problem. That's also we already talked, like you subdued ultra enemies. You subdued one enemies and two enemies come. You subdued two enemies, 5, 6, endless enemies. Never end enemies become. So you subdued like your own anger and all subdued enemies. Enemies already subdued. So like that, we have to examine our own error, means we have to look to our problem, emotions, problems, not just temporary this going on, situation problems. Temporary situation problem, you log that, examine that, doesn't have anything. So that is just, you have to change it day by day, follow. What you have to do, But main point is when emotion arises, you have to read these verses. Anger, jealousy, desire, right? And then due to ignorance, like we're doing some mistakes. coming for other beings, create negativity. So that time, examine ourselves. Then also we blame for others, talking about some other problems. So then that time you have to look to our own problem. So that really helps. And this is it's called fit instruction. So use this, have to see our problem. And this verses we have to use our own mirror. So use mirror, seeing our own body, right? So our eye see everyone others, but our eye don't see ourselves. That's why we need a mirror. So then we use a mirror. Okay, my clothes is correct. My face has any dirty. So you can change your face, and you can change what your incorrect something going on your body. I cannot see things. So like that, and use mirror, we can see our body. And use these verses, you see your own mind, your mind problems. So our mind problem is all the emotions. When you see your emotions, then you can find a solution. If you don't see your emotions, then you don't see, you're not looking anything, your something solution for your emotion. So then your emotion, your problem is there, that create always causes of suffering. So that's the reason we use this versus our mind mirror and have to see our mind problems. So that is a hard, very hard to see, not easy to see. Your body has something easy to see because you can use mirror. Or you ask someone, please look to me, my everything okay? My wearing clothes is okay or not? Right? So you can ask someone ask to help. But when we have emotion in our mind, you cannot ask to help somebody. Can you look to my emotions? So they don't see your emotions. Even they see, but they cannot help you anything. You know, they say, oh, your face is a red color, you have anger. So that's it. They can see only like that kind. That doesn't help too much, right? Maybe then you more anger. You say, no, I don't have anger. You're telling me you know wrong. You wanted me to say better things for me. No, I don't have anger. Maybe more anger. So other people cannot help you that way, right? That's why use these verses and mirror for our mind, and then you see our emotions. So emotion is biggest our problems. If you didn't put your clothes properly, you don't have a mirror, you don't put correctly your clothes, that doesn't actually get problem you. They don't take you to lower realms, right? They don't get you big problem, anything. So it's also easy to change. You can easily change. If you make up something, your face and your something, you know, hairstyles like doesn't go correctly one day, it's okay. You can change it next day. That doesn't get you big problem. So then this part, the thing about if we don't know our own problem, examine our own self, we are always stuck in samsara. So not possible to free from samsara. That's the reason this part is very important. If we don't cultivate this section, then never ever we can become practitioner. Never ever we can become realizer. Realizer means they have to get rid of emotions. So someone who doesn't want to love their own emotions, they don't want to recognize their own emotions, they don't want to talk about their own problem emotions, how can get rid of their emotions? Yeah. Think about it that way, you know. So if without this, if we don't cultivate, we don't practice these verses, never ever we have become Dharma practitioner. So if we know Dharma practitioner, never ever we can realize it. So we cannot be free from samsara. If we wanted to become free from samsara, we have to use these verses and have to look to our own problem. So think about patience. Someone gets sick. Some says, Lord, you sick. They say, no, I didn't sick. I'm not sick. They don't want to accept that, right? They don't want to accept the sick. Then they're not going to see doctor. So then that disease is going to put a death. That's it. Result is a death, suffering of death. So you cannot, never ever you get care about that disease, because care means recovering like from that disease, because you don't want to recognize, you don't want to see the doctor, you don't want to eat medicine. So like that, we don't want to recognize our problems, then that emotion, like we don't want to recognize our emotional problems, then that takes us lower realms. So the emotion result is lower realms. The problem result is lower realms. That's it. So then why the problem happen? Why the problem, the emotion take us lower realms? Because we don't want to accept. So we don't want to recognize, we don't want to get rid of the emotion. So patients don't want to recognize the error, and then they die. So the patients recognize I'm sick. So same thing, like patients can say, okay, you are sick, I'm sick. That's also okay, right? So I have problem, you also have problem. Some people like say, I don't have problem, you have problem. Always examine for others, never ever accept their own problems. So we practitioner, Dharma practicing, okay, so we see our problem, then others' problem also you see that. That's also okay. You see other problem, but that is like you don't have to say that you have to get rid of your problem, right? First, you have to take care of your own problem. Then you say, okay, I already use this method, I have problem, I get care about care, get recovering my problems. So you also use that. If you have that difficult problem, then it's great to share for someone, right? So if we don't use our problem, anything for solution, then we pointing others' problem is incorrect. So we have to see our own problem, then you can also see others' problem, it's okay. So when we see our own problem, then it's like we recognize we are sick. So we recognize we are sick, then we have to go to see doctor. So doctor give medicine. So we have to see the teacher, and teacher give dharma. So then you don't have to think about the doctor has this problem or not. You have to get, doctor can help me my disease problem. That's it. You need that. Doctor is free from this disease. That doesn't help you anything. So that's Buddha, like his statement, last statement. We go to see the doctor. You get this kind of sickness or not? Do you are free from disease? So doctor, you are free from death? That question is not necessary, right? You will say, doctor, I have sick. Do you know my sick? This is my problem. Do you have medicine? Can you give me medicine? So that is the most important, right? Because we wanted to cure the disease. So then doctor, okay, give medicine. So we have to use that medicine. So it's a dharma. So no, this is the dharma. We have to recognize our problems. See, recognize and then use antidote for our problem. Antidote is a dharma. So solution, something solution. Then when anger comes, what do we have to use? We already talked anger's antidote. Cultivate love, compassion, patience, so many methods there. So we have to apply that. When attachment and desire comes, method is impermanent. So cause desires causes the suffering. So apply that antidote. And then all this emotion has method. So we apply that each method. So that is our medicine. So apply that medicine, then we can recover our earnest permanently recovering, not temporarily recovering, right? So that's you think about it, like all this instruction we have to know our problem and how to apply, something introduce. This statement is very powerful. Help us our daily life change. Therefore, always examine your own errors. Rid yourself of them. Write or read. I say write yourself of them. This is the practice of
Read.
I say read yourself of them. This is the practice of Bodhisattva. Then that is become Bodhisattva. So we look to our own problem, get rid of our own problem, then we have become Bodhisattva. If we're looking for others' problem, we don't want to get rid of our own problem, we are ordinary person, always ordinary beings. So far, I'm beginning last time until now, we examine others' problems. So what we get? So still you want to investigate others' problem, examine your others' problem. So then if you does that, we are kept going again samsara. Result is kept going again. Then what the Bodhisattvas did? Bodhisattvas did read their own problem, they recognize their own problem, they get rid of their own problem, then they have become Bodhisattva. Okay? So then some people say, wow, Bodhisattvas only happen for others, they not get rid of their own problem. If they don't get rid of their own problem, how can benefit for others? And you benefit for others, that is method get rid of our own problem too. So examining others' problem, then never ever get rid of our own problem and others' problem. So that's why this is it's very important, especially who practice Dharma. Very, very important. Only these verses can change our daily life. So use these verses. Then of course, like you have other teachings like method. You have lots of method. You have lots of medicine. You have lots of medicine. You're not eating yet. You already get sick. You never eating medicine. So now you know. Oh, I have this medicine. I have to eat. Oh, I have sick this. I have this medicine. I have to eat. So now you can use all this. Apply your antidote method. So then become your Bodhisattvas. Okay, so that is the verses 31. Now we go to verses 32. So this just goes together, verses 31 and 32. If through the influence of disturbing emotions, you point out the force of another Bodhisattva, you yourself are diminished, so don't mention the force of those who have entered the great vehicle. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. This verses 31, verses 32 is very important for ordinary people important for the who are into the religion. So then, of course, religion example we are come to the religion, different lineages, different dharma centers, and also different or lineages, then different religions, follow different religions. So that all is pointing each other, blame each other, So sometimes get in the religion, looks like better no religion. So if you have religion, then attach our own religion and hatred to other religion. So that is the become more problem. Medicines become poison. So that's create samsaric beings create that. So far, look to all the histories, all these big wars, and actually based on most of these religions there. So try to religions power and control, and religion with politics together, politics and religion together, tied together, and then they create all these wars and killing millions of people. So this thing about all these world problems become created by attachment and anger. Attachment is attached to our own religion. Hatred to others. They wanted to destroy others' religion. They wanted to, how to say that, evolved or controlled by my religion control whole thing. Yeah, so that's the become problems. Actually, that is like harming each other. No one is become winner. No one is done great job. So that's all due to the emotions. Actually, of course, due to emotions, anger and attachment. So that's why then, of course, like in the religion, blame each other, and then of course the lineages blame each other. That become causes of suffering, many beings. So that is become medicine is changed to the poison. Who does that? The people, religion, use the religion, follow emotion, control them. They are not religion person. 100% no religion. Religion means something using for our emotion. That person is, we could say, religion person. Someone not using anything, their own emotion, they create making them create their own emotion. They create others' emotion. That person is not religion person. That person is using the religion harming for others. They destroy actually true religions. So yesterday I went to here and one statue. So I don't know, Curtis is here today, he's busy somewhere. So he showed me the statue and he's telling all these stories about that statue. I actually wanted to video record after that. I do the video recording, but he shares the statue's backgrounds, information. He's so enthusiasm and kind of very, like strong feeling arises his mind. So actually, I thought that is really good. If at that time I check the videos, but I didn't talk the videos. The problem is I didn't have this mindful, and first part I didn't recognize what I have to do. So then that statue is also the actually causes of religion problem. So the history is. I heard that the statue is one woman her statue, and the raccoon is front. Raccoon is the animal. Raccoon, right? Raccoon is there with her, and she holding some bundle of the kind of leaves. So that is something like for the care, for I think something for healing, for using for healing. The raccoon is like kind of, she has very compassion with the animals. So that kind of symbols. And then what happened is, I think before United States independent, and this area. So people think she is not follow the religion, I think. Her husband also passed away, and they think that she is not follow the religion. They think she is evil or something. And because she using something, you know, for healings and doing something different. I think that time also not equal rights, many due to many problems. So that's the reason that I think it's a church something, you know, they put her is punished to put in the water to try to hang. And if she die in the water, then they said she's innocent. And I think her body is like put in the church cemetery somewhere. They recognize, oh, she's innocent. If she not die, they say, oh, she's evil, something bad person. And then she, you know, the torture again. So that lady, she did mostly, of course, they die because they when tied to the hand and put in the throw in the water, of course, die. So that woman didn't dead. Then due to that, they put in the jail. So some reasons, and then this Virginia governor said this is a mistake, so she released the jail, and also someone took already her properties, everything. She can own her own properties, like long as they kind of have a punish, so who get that kind of punish. So the Virginia governor is just pay back her properties, and she can have, I think, normal life. End of her life is normal life. She has 3 sons. Okay, so then after, you know, like many years after, so they put her statue there, and then another governor, Virginia governor, apologized. That is a mistake, you know, like kind of they recognize they create a statue. So that is no too long ago. See, that's also, see, all is like people using religion and create suffering for others. So that is becomes, see, use religion is the people who follow their religions, they are emotional person. They have 2 things, anger and hatred. That's it, that 2. And then create causes of suffering for others. The true reality religion, who follow true religion, looking solution for emotion and anger. So that's the person is to follow the religion. Then then practitioner groups comes together and they create a temple. Then they call the temple. They created the church. That is called church. So other is then cannot say temple, cannot say church. You know. So only just a name. That's it. Yes. So that is the like one example like that. That due to the use the religion, the harming for others. That is not only Christian religions, many like other religions did like that happening. So that's always like they're looking their others' problem, not looking our own problem. They don't see our own errors, problems. So then look, you went to many years after due to some circumstances, they recognize, oh no, that's our own problem. But it's too late actually. Yeah, too late. And so then becomes just a kind of history. But human beings going to stop that? Never ever stopped until he treated anger and attachment stopped, desire attachment, then stop that situation. Okay, so that history say something, then people think, oh, going to stop that, and never ever stop. We see all this worldly causes of suffering is war, hatred to each other, and due to attachment. That all shows us, but never stop that. Never ever stop that. So never ever stop that. That's the reason we need this 37 practice Bodhisattva always benefit. 37 practice Bodhisattva benefit never end. True. Because anger, attachment never end in the samsara. That's the reason this 37 practice Bodhisattva benefit also never end. Yeah. So long as always disease is there, medicine always benefit. So see, if you, through the influence of disturbing emotions, you point out the faults of another Bodhisattva. So that's see, due to our problem, then pointing others' problem. That just I share you the story. The woman is innocent. She didn't do anything wrong. She is a compassionate lady. She is good for animals. She is just normal, and she have children, 3 children, 3 boys, and then her husband's passed away. She didn't do anything wrong, but other who is influenced by emotions, if the truth and the influence of disturbed emotions, you point out the force of another Bodhisattva. See, then pointing Bodhisattva's problem. The example, the lady is Bodhisattva who pointing the problem. That person is ordinary, influenced by emotions. Emotion person pointing Bodhisattva. That is always like that. See, communist pointing His Holiness Dalai Lama all the time. So that's the emotion always pointing for the emotional people always pointing to the Bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas never pointing their problems. Sometimes they just recognize to them to help, but not through the anger, emotion pointing for them. Sometimes like say, oh, this Bodhisattva telling these problems. The Bodhisattva has a compassion and telling some others' problem, that try to help them change. But not Bodhisattvas, their own emotion, then pointing others, not like that. That is not Bodhisattva. You're pointing out the faults of another Bodhisattva. You yourself are diminished, so don't mention the faults of those who have entered the great vehicle. This is the practice of Bodhisattva. We're pointing others' problems, then what we can get benefit. Our benefit is all the quality is decreasing. We get harming for ourselves. So then who lose? We lose ourselves. Who created that? We create ourselves. No one, create ourselves lost. We create ourselves lost. So I just shared the example, like the story that told about the statue, that one. And that woman actually never lost. Who tortured her, they are lost. Because due to their karma, they are going to lower ranks. It's no questions. The God never ever going to say, you guys did a great job. If the God is there, he say, you guys did a terrible job. You're going to go lower ranks. Doesn't matter. There God says, you make me so. You make me. You make me shame. Shame. You make me shame because they say I'm going to go protect my God. They torture others. Then of course God is like really real God. He shame himself. You make me shame right? Shame myself. So you guys terrible. So God going to punish for them. The Christian tradition. okay, going to punish to them. They're going to endless suffering. If God is there, that say woman who they get tortured, he say, okay, you liberate. You are already having. He take that lady is having. So follow the Buddhists. They do to these guys karma, endless suffering over her. The woman, she has a love, compassion, her purified karma, previous life karma. She is already free from suffering. So who really lose? Who really winner there? Emotional people is always lose. You know, they never ever winner. So temporarily, due to ignorant, we think they are winner, but then they never ever winner. They are loser. So this who created the war, who tortured the people, who has power and they use that to torture the people, that person, everyone due to karma is suffering, endless suffering. Then of course 100 million people blame them too. So what they get finally? They're lost. And due to ignorance, we don't recognize it. Like short term, we don't recognize. Short term, they are great, but the long run, they're lost. Become terrible, recognize slowly. So emotion, its result is always negative suffering. Then see also someone pointing the others' problems, their diminish their qualities. So then decreasing their love, decreasing compassion, decreasing wisdom. Then what is increasing? Anger is increasing. Attachment is increasing. Ignorance is increasing. These three poisons is increasing. Three poisons increasing. Where is go to result? Result is samsara. So then endless suffering in samsara. If through influence of disturbing emotions, you're found out the force of another Bodhisattva, you yourself are diminished. So don't mention the force of those who have entered the great vehicle, this practice of Bodhisattva. I read again. So see, usually practitioners and not pointing for others. No practitioners always pointing for practitioners. Oh, he's no practitioner. He has problems. That kind. And that's the same is like I just shared with you Buddha when he before passed away. Buddha's his stories. He never pointing this other teacher are wrong. He never pointing there. So who asked this kind of questions? He said, "You change. You have to love yourself, pointing yourself." And then others there who don't have this realize, who have emotions, they're always pointing Buddha. They're examining Buddha too all the time. So there's he's no realizer, he's wrong teacher, he's doing this, he's like so all the time like pointing the Buddha. So that's also like during that time, so love the story is anger and attachment. Attachment is because they're losing their power. Who losing their own power, they're pointing the other's problem. They anger. So during the Buddha time, who pointing Buddha's problem is all that time who losing the power, other religion, who follow the especially the teachers, they're losing the power. And they're also kings losing power too that time. So kings lose their power because king and the religion goes together, helping each other. So, you have a bundle of wood, carries, like take out one piece inside the other is like not stable, always going to lose one by one. So like that. And So kings during that time, king and the many other religions stuck together and they helping each other power. So then they're scared because many people follow the Buddha, and then they're losing the power. That Pongteng Buddha is not realized, he is not true what it says. They create all the problems. They create problems, then they use the people and use the people that people are suffering, many like that. So then other hand, Buddha never pointing their problems. That he never ever said their problems, anything, no mention about their problems. When he ready to have them, he ready to have them. So he just helping them and when ready. So he never pointing their problem. So that's all we have to learn. We don't, the good thing, we know pointing others' problem. So if we pointing others' problem, then we that is actually harming ourselves, and we lose our qualities. So we cannot. We pointing others' problem that doesn't really benefit much. That time, the who pointing Buddha like his problems, they're pointing slowly they're lost because they're day by day everything comes clearly. Truth is, so they're lost. Follow that, then we don't pointing others' problem. If we point others' problem, then become you yourself are diminished. So don't mention the efforts of those who have entered the hackers. This is the practice of Bodhisattva. So now we go to 33. Reward and respect cause us to quarrel and make hearing, thinking, and meditation decline. For this reason, give up attachment to the household of friends, relations, benefactors. This is the Bodhisattva practice. So reward and respect causes us to quarrel and make hearing, thinking, and meditation decline. So something reward and respect cause us to quarrel and make hearing, thinking, and meditation decline. For this reason, give up attachment to the households of friends, relations, the factors of this is the practice of Bodhisattva. This statement is just we individually all has different levels, suggestions. This statement. So, of course, individually always have something benefit. So, due to the ability, capacity levels have something benefit. So then we are attached to that. Long as attached to that, become of course hatred to its comes. Then causes to that. So then we, is create is arguing, fighting. So that's then actually declaring all our qualities. Quarrel and making hearing. Quarrel is like fighting, right? Quarrel is fighting. Okay. So see, reward and respect cause us to quarrels. This especially, of course, like someone follow the spiritual path, then this is the obstacle. Reward and respect is obstacle. So long as attached to reward and respect, then that person never ever can go to right direction spiritual path. They only just carry the names. So just say I'm spiritual follower, but not truly reality not spiritual follower. The person is not spiritual. Reward and respect. So someone who attached to reward and respect, their cause is to become fighting. So that's is like I just share already. Religions fighting is due to that too. Then politicians fighting is all due to that too. So kings all fighting is due to that too. No, it's like see countries war each other also due to this too. Then of course like come to like more individually, like neighbors fighting, co-workers each other fighting. Same is also like fighting. They're all due to this. And so all the causes of suffering is reward and respect and attachment. So long as you have attachment, then become causes is fighting. Then fighting is anger, so its result is suffering each other. So this specifically, this verses is Nurture Tomi, who composed this 37 practice. His suggestion to this verses is for monastics directly, of course indirectly, and then everyone has individual level, the capacities like due to their own, reward and respect something. So individual have something expectation. Something has there has benefited something individually. So due to that is attachment that then someone going to, harming like kind of our benefits, then we are attached to our own benefits. Someone going to treat our own benefits easily arise anger. So anger arises, then causes fighting, because the benefit is the opposite is fighting. See the politician all fighting. The chair in the White House, right? So then all these politicians fighting for that. Chair in the Congress, the people fighting for that. So the fighting, then what they get, reality truly, actually they don't get anything. So actually the whole life is miserable. These politicians, whole life is miserable. Goes. So then they create causes of suffering. Many future life causes of suffering results. So that's it. That's the thing about that. And then of course, like you have one company, maybe 100 co-workers, and then there also one reward there. So they're all fighting. They get that reward, respect something, they benefit something there. So they're fighting. Finally, no one get anything. Everyone is a lose. So think that all these 33 verses, your whole, your daily activity, daily life, always have something going on there. We are at the respect and our own benefit is something. We're fighting that, no letting go. So no letting go, fighting for that, and due to ignorance, create the causes of suffering each other. If someone has wisdom, and then the person see the reward and the respect there, but then they find they're going to get that is like no causes of suffering. Use wisdom. Then that benefit that person, or maybe that also reward, respect, benefit for others. But people who don't have wisdom, then their reward, respect, fight, lost everyone. Causes of suffering each one, because no one get benefit finally. So if something reward and respect there we need wisdom to get that, when you fight, going to fight for that, and you need wisdom to not create causes of suffering. Use your method, you get that, no harm any others, and you get that, you benefit for others. That's the Bodhisattva's way. Yeah. Ordinary people see something there, attachment, and going to fight, die. That's it, lost life. Didn't get anything. So that's all this. The way was Siddhartha, these kings fighting each other. He told them, why are you guys fighting? Just negotiate, dare, You fight. These people die. After die, what are you going to do? No life. You die, then what are you going to do? Right? You don't have exist. Then why are you wanting these things? So these guys didn't recognize that. They said, this is my territory. I'm going to kill this person. They said, no, this is my territory. I'm going to kill you. They die both. Then they die. The territory is what? Their territory. It's like no any benefit, nothing for no one get. Both is a loser. If someone died, then what is that? It's so you're already gone. Then what are you going to do that? Then what this king says? No. It's my history. My name. That says my name. Due to the pride, ego. They say my name is never ever going to happen bad. Then Siddhartha says, you died, then what is your name? You're going to die, then what are you going to name? You die, that is worse, become your name's worse than any other. So you die yourself there. So he gave them, many peace jars during that time when he was Siddhartha. It's not yet Buddha, but Siddhartha, he can give many peace jars with them, because these kings like attachment, anger to each other, and they die each other. No one get benefit. So that's all. Just individually, we also have always problem. Some things we don't want to let go, even we don't get. We really strong attached to that. We don't let any others get that. And then just causes of suffering each other, then result is no one get any benefit. Then become that is worse suffering each other. Yeah. So that's the kind of we human beings, due to attachment and ignorance, we created that. Due to attachment and ignorance, result is anger and suffering. So who has wisdom, let's see the goal goes good or not. Goal is result. Goal is result is happiness. The goal is result is suffering. Then the going to get the goal, but through the wisdom, not suffering each other. So use method. That is the Bodhisattvas. River and respect cause us to quarrel and make herring, thinking in the meditation, declaring. Then say we, like Dharma followers, attachment, due to attachment, create the causes of suffering. So Dharma or object is troll, using the troll, something helping support for us to liberate. We are attached to that troll. Like you use the boat going to cross the ocean to other side. You're not going to cross the other side. You are attached to the boat. You are attached to the boat. You're not letting go of the boat. You never ever get across the other side of the the other side of the island, ocean, other side of the ocean. So you are get in the boat, you say, this is my boat. Then others say, this is my boat. So everyone attachment to the boat and fighting each other the boat. Then no one get other side of the island or boat, the cross of the ocean. Everyone died there. So like that, then this example, like monasteries, also the bird temple, bird statues, bird many things, ritual things, like they have students, they have something, they attach to that, then they're fighting for that, they die, then not liberating. Okay, so this actually temples, the spiritual object, spiritual matter, everything is same as a boat. You know, we have to use that, go to liberate, to attach to that. So the example, like we have to, here is for this, give up attachment to household of friends, see, householders. So like each monastery, monks, nuns all have benefactors. So the benefactors have to meditate and practicing cross the ocean of samsara. But using the benefactors, attached to benefactors, become, the benefactors attached to that, fighting for benefactors, and then lost each other. No one get free from samsara. So that's these informations. Yeah. So there, of course, monasteries, practitioners need benefactors, sponsors. Then they cannot attach to benefactors. If attached to benefactors, then decline all these qualities. Making hearing, thinking in the meditation, decline, all its qualities decline again. It's declining these qualities, what is increasing? So decreasing heat, what is increasing? This cord is increasing. So like that. Then other hand, emotions are increasing. This example is like each individual Dharma practitioner can learn something. Always have something there. So someone say, I'm going to create a Dharma center for these practitioners. They create a Dharma center, then they attach to the Dharma center and then control that, then they're stuck with the toy. So that's it. They don't practice the Dharma, they're stuck, they're suffering. So that is all. It's like many informations here for our practitioners learn from this. So we have just our individual ability to give up the levels, capacities. Some is like you cannot give up everything. You just have to give up just whichever that you need. Which one you have to give up? You have to give up like that part. So then slowly you can give up everything. That all has levels, different individual levels. So you're going to cross the ocean, say, oh, this boat I don't need. You just throw away, you don't use, and you don't let use others. Maybe you just chop your boat. Then that is ignorance too. So you cannot chop your boat. Say, I'm not attached to my boat. You chop the boat, you don't use the boat again. You have to use that, but not use wrong way. Sometimes you think, okay, you misunderstand it. Then, oh, I cannot use these things. Then you give up. The same is like you chop your boat. Yeah. So I say, oh, someone created Dharma centers, they attach to that. Oh, I don't need a Dharma center, give out Dharma center. The same is like chop with the boat. You need a boat, but have to use that correctly. You say, I have this boat, I'm going to cross a boat. So as your friends come in together, use that. When you get other side, let go of boat to use others. Don't put carry into your shoulder to start walking in the island or after cross the ocean, you know. Let use for others. Okay, so that's here is the river and the respect use us to quarrel and rare and make hearing, thinking, and meditation particularly. For this reason, give up attachment to the household or friend, relation, and the benefit, which is the practice of Bodhisattva. This is the practice of Bodhisattva. So Bodhisattva always does like that. Okay, so we can post today there. So then tomorrow I'm going to finish the whole 37 practice of Bodhisattva teaching. So tomorrow we are become independent there. So it's great. It's all cause condition comes correctly. 37 practice when we completion main teaching, listening, is independence there. We're going to get independent, permanent independent. So we go back to the prayer. Then next week, I'm going to starting next week. I'm going to share the stage of meditation teachings. So now we meditating lots. So we have to share again. I think meditation stage is great to sharing, good timing to share. And also we have curriculums, and I have to update again curriculums to the use the stage of meditation. And also I'm going to create a Spanish curriculum, so using the stage of meditation, Spanish language. That's why I'm going to share this teaching, stage of meditation. Also, another is we meditate often and often all the time, so we need stage of meditation. Okay, so that's the reason next week starting going to share stage of meditation. Now we go back to prayer. Om mani padme hum, mani padme hum, om mani padme hum, mani padme hum. Sure, at my own mind, with mind unlock, with nothing to identify, it is just like space. With nothing whatsoever to see vividly clear. In that essence, which is emptiness, I remain. Rangas and lies and jeti, mizom eben anganda, jaya mandon sangewa. Omba nyede ne omane beme hongro, omane beme hongro, omane beme hongro. Beme hongro, omane 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 beme hongro. Omane beme hongro, omane beme hongro, omane beme hongro, omane beme hongro. All of that experience of uncompounded emptiness. Appearances are unobstructed and vividly clear, without bias or pervasive, uncompounded, and with the nature of clearly, oh wonderful. Bomba Zandaranga Nyele, Nawa Manga Salewa, Rimi Kinchan Dimase, Ranjin Ozara Om Zara Je, Oman the Beme Hongro, 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 Beme Hongro, Oman the Beme Hongro. Clear yet empty, and empty yet clear, clarity and emptiness, indivisible being. In a genome state of perfect bliss is the automate Lord, our Lord Kishora. Sarjan Don La Don Yen Sar Sar Don Yermi Samjur Linjin Yoma De Jin Den Me Don Jire Zewan Ye Oma the Peme Honro, 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 Oma the Peme Honro. Om Nebeme Hong, page 157, Lineage dedication prayer. Dorjen Chang, Delopa, Naropa, Marpa, Malarepa, Dharma, Lodagambopa, Pamutopan, Lodigompa. Please bestow upon us the most auspicious blessing of all the Kagyu Lamas. By this virtue, may I achieve omniscience. By defeating our enemies, confusion, may all who traverse on the ways of birth and origin, sickness and death cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhisattva, the excellent and precious of mind, where it is unborn, may it rise, where it is born, may it no decline, but it will increase higher and higher. I pray that the Lama may have a good health. I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray that your Dharma activity separate fine and white. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Manjushri, the Vero realized the autonomic state, and as did the Samantabhata, were following the path and to fully dedicate all the merit for sentient being. By the blessing of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the true one, changing Dharma aside, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit for our share fruit. By this virtue collected in the three times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate rule of virtue, may I and all sentient beings calculating, and surpass perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of Guru Gompa Ranashiri, who is omniscient Lord of Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue to increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation, and end of the samsara. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kempo. Thank you, Sangala.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kempo.
Thank you, Kempo.
Thank you, Kempo.
Tempola.
May I ask a question?
Tomorrow.
Happy Independence Day.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes. Tomorrow morning, I have a teaching and the 8 o'clock in this Vietnamese temple here. So, could be I come little bit, could be late to join the program morning 9 o'clock. So, maybe a couple of minutes, okay?
We won't point that out to you, okay? We won't point that. Late, we won't point that.
Tempola, may I ask a question?
Yes, Laming, hi.
When you were talking about the Bodhisattva, always see your own arrow. I want to ask a question about self-esteem, because when we were small, we always tell that everything was our fault. Everything was wrong with us. And we become really everything. When I went to university, I went to see therapy, and they said that, okay, let us see what's wrong with you. So they gave me a lot of exams, and they said that the most problematic is your guilty feeling. 24 is the highest one. I got 23. So I always feel, even I go to a friend's place, if their TV get broken, I feel it's my fault, because maybe my energy get the TV broken. And that's what my belief. And it took me a long, long time to really understand I don't have that power to make everything worse. But my parents really make me say that, oh, because I come back to Hong Kong because of you, see how miserable I am now. And because I beat my wife almost terribly, beating my wife, his wife, and then she ran away, and my father said, because of you, she ran away. So in that kind of environment, you just accumulate all this guilty feeling. Everything is my fault. So when I hear that the Bodhisattva always found your own error. It really makes me feel very sad because I feel I'm overdone it. Seeing that my own error. So everything I feel is my fault. And I felt that how can the Bodhisattva teach you in that perspective?
Okay. That is a very good question, Laming. I have lots of answers, but it's I don't know. So comes everything like understanding what you're talking about. So
because
this
it
is
becomes self-hatred.
Yes. So that's actually looking my own problem is like we're not looking our emotion problems, emotion recognize. So just problem is like you thinking about, oh, I have a problem, my nose, my eye, or my finger, and my house, my wife, my husband. So that kind of looking problems. Then that makes become more sad and more sad. It's more emotion because it's carried more causes of emotions, more causes of upset. So that is not really talking about. I just mentioned about a couple of times. Looking our own error means like looking our my anger, attachment, desire. See, like where is this best to recognize that, let go where that one. So not looking. I have a problem, my education, my family problem, my neighbor problem, my food problem, not looking that problem. If thinking about that problem, then that person create more emotion. So that makes more suffering, more sad, more suffering. Then that decline again your wisdom, because you recognize your own problem is not introduced to emotions. Emotions increasing is decreasing qualities. That's why this looking to our error problem is like when you have anger, you have to see the anger. Okay, I have anger. This anger, look to the anger, like, okay, I have to create compassion, love. So remove the anger. Right, like that way, like the practice Dharma. Then the Bodhisattvas have practiced that way, they never get suffering in the lost. So think about, the Gachin Rinpoche story is many like this kind of Dharma practitioners. This communists torture them, blame them their problems, but they don't. Their problem is emotion, anger. They don't. What they're pointing, the communist pointing problem. Don't see that. Communism maybe say you guys like have a wrong idea, and you guys have wrong view, and Dharma, karma, cause and effect, not there, but you really have wrong view. That kind of, that pointing, right? And you have to give up that. No Buddha, no Dharma, no Sangha, no future life. And you have to give up that. That is your problem. They're pondering these kind of problems. Then they say, okay, maybe you don't take shower. Maybe you don't have education. You guys like poor. Maybe like that kind of they're pondering problems. So you guys terrible. So they don't take their problems. They take these practitioners' problems, their emotion. So what are the others pointing them? They don't stuck with that. See, if they're stuck with that, they're more suffering. They get more suffering, and then they get more emotion, more suffering, and then create the causes of suffering. But this practitioner didn't do that. They're pointing that problem, so they don't see that problem. They see the problem is my anger, my attachment, my desires. They get rid of that, then they become practitioner.
So when you talk
when you talk about that story about that woman, the status of that woman, she did nothing wrong, but people was angry with her and then finally make her in jail and everything. And to me, I feel that the main cause of that problem is not anger, it's greed because they want her money, her property. Isn't it? So they
Yes,
try to
that's- So that's why that people are not practitioner. I said that people are wrong follow religion because due to why they did that for the woman, because due to emotions.
So that's greed. That's greed. They were greedy. They want her
Yes,
money.
they're great because why is it great? Due to attachment, due to ignorance.
They were
Ignorance.
not really
Okay, so
religious
what did
people.
they get? What did they get? Then finally, they don't get anything. They're never successful. They're lost. Okay, so know who's the winner. That woman temporarily suffering, but the woman is historically recognized. He is a hero. Okay, worldly, spiritually, she is a winner because she purified their karma and she has like compassion with these animals. She has more courage and like benefit for others, healings. That karma is like already liberated somewhere else. So that's why. So who's the winner? But at that time, then so she say, okay, these people blame me, they are wrong, and fighting with that is not going to win anything. So some situations you cannot avoid that, right? Okay, so this practitioner, the Tibetan, this meditator practitioners, when they get in the jail, they don't blame themselves, they don't blame the communists, they blame them, but they recognize, okay, that's like that. They just meditate and practice and they let go of the problem. They become practitioners.
One more question, Kempula, because to me, from what I understand about human nature and about religion, almost many religions have that perspective about being military. Like I am the soldier of Christ, so I have to get rid of the evil. So they found people and believe those are evil people. They kill them. And what do you think about that? Many religions have that story about we are the soldier of the Christ, we are the soldier of Allah, we are the soldier, even Buddhism. In Burma, that's monk encourage the people kill Muslim. So what do you explain that perspective in the religions? Because they really believe they are very religious.
Okay.
They can sacrifice their wife, their life.
Anything so far, this way of Bodhisattva and the 37 practices say that care the people, protect your religion. Do you
Can
find
you say it again?
nothing there, right? That means like we don't, that is a people's mistake, not religion.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. But sometimes religion can encourage that. So
But
you
that
become a
people's-
martyr.
This 37 practice courage like that here, anything?
No, no.
Okay, that's religion, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Kemula.
Okay.
Thank you,
Sorry.
Raman. Great
Yeah.
question. Thank you. Thank you, Kempola. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, good day.
Thank you,
Star
Kemula.
shine
See you
on, even where it's
tomorrow.
cloudy and rainy. Star
Have